Soulbound just came out, and wow, there's quite a lot to unpack here. First of all, I will be talking about the alleged crypto scam controversy surrounding this game and the developers. But first, I genuinely am going to review the gameplay first, so stay tuned for all of that. All right, so what is Soulbound? Well, this is a roguelite MMO hybrid, meaning that there are servers in different regions like US, Europe, and Asia, where players share the same map instances where they can talk, trade, visit each other's houses, and invite each other to run dungeons. The game is pretty much split into two gameplay sections, the overworld and dungeons. Let's talk about the overworld first. It consists of map instances where you can walk around and see other players. There's local chat, global chat, etc. There's no danger out here or anything. You can talk to NPCs, take on quests, follow the main story, side missions, buy, sell items like equipment and consumables. You can farm crops, do some fishing, and upgrade your home base. Your apartment can be decorated with furniture that you buy from NPCs. There's also workstations where you can build more furniture and craft weapons, armors, and more. The other part of the game are the dungeon runs. Here's where the roguelite aspect comes in. The gameplay is pretty much survivors like combat. You walk through a map or defend against waves of enemies and bosses. You auto attack essentially. You have your equipped weapon and skills that activate on a cooldown. So, to give you an example of the types of offense you got: swords, daggers, stabs, fireballs, bombs, miniguns, drones, and more. At the time of recording, there's 10 or so abilities that you'll choose from for each dungeon, and over 100 combos to build out using relics as well. So, like most survivors like games, you survive, attack, and kill enemies who drop experience. Once you hit a level threshold, you'll get a pop up of three choices for upgrades to choose from. These upgrade choices depends on what weapons or abilities you have equipped at that time. So, for example, more damage, faster cooldown speeds, multi hit, and stuff like that. These upgrades are just for the dungeon. When you go to a new one, you're going to start from level one. Obviously, you have better equipment and new ability combinations, but you're going to be upgrading and leveling just like you would in a lot of Survivors roguelite games. After completing a room, you'll have a choice of the different rooms to go to next. There's stuff like health rooms, upgrade rooms, and gathering rooms. Heal obviously heals you. Upgrades allow you to get more powerful stuff for that run. And gathering rooms can give you persistent treasures like equipment, consumables, and resources to be used outside of runs for lots of other things. Your goal is to pretty much go through all of the rooms and beat bosses, events, and then get to the end. You then get a chest of random items that is from a set pool of loot for that dungeon, and then you're back to the overworld. Now it's back to finishing more main quests, side quests, buy, sell armors, equipments, craft gear, harvest crops, fish, and pretty much hang out with other people. That's pretty much the game. Some noteworthy things to mention, though, is that while I'm reviewing the game, it is in early access. They said they want to work on the game for 12 to 18 months before version 1.0. There's content up to level 50 with plans for level 99. There's currently one raid where five people can fight together. Usually, you can invite people, run through dungeons in a party of three players. There's currently around 50 handwritten quests with plans for double that, and the usual just wanting to add more content like chapters, items, characters, zones, etc. There's even plans for an auction house. There is in game trading though. If you have any very specific questions about the gameplay, please comment below and I'll answer you right away. Let's move on to the currently alleged controversy surrounding this game, and that's that Soulbound is essentially an asset flip from their previously failed project where they slow rugged pulled their audience. So let's talk about that in more detail. Just remember, I received the game for free to check out, and as you know, I soon found out about their development history. I have no ties to this game at all monetarily. Everything I'm saying can be researched yourself as well if you want to draw out your own conclusions. But here's the gist, right? So this is not a new indie game. It's a rebranded, failed Web3 / crypto project originally called Worldwide Webb that has been through multiple wipes, cash grabs, and rebrands over 6 years. I'll be putting a link in the comments below or description for basically summarizing all of this on a Reddit post. So you can check that out yourself. So the history and the rebrand trap here is a $15 million raised with the zero delivered on that project. So there was NFT sales, 5 million initially, 4 million in royalties, and 10 million virtual currency around pretty much 2023. The developers raised massive capital. Shortly after, they pulled the game offline, citing they got hacked. They wiped their players' inventories and they never restored lost assets. They staged a temporary alpha, promised no more wipes, and abandoned the game for months. Then they rebranded it to Soulbound to prepare for the Steam release. They systematically scrubbed years of history on their Discord, X, and YouTube to hide their Web3 past. Their 1 million player claim is completely fabricated. The Steam demo peaks at 450 players. The current push relies on paid Reddit ads, paid creator bounties, and PR services to build artificial hype on a fresh audience. Like I said, I got the game for free just to check out. I didn't receive anything for this, so I can say anything I want. But basically, the game itself, let's talk about the pros and cons, right? So the art and music, the pixel aesthetic and soundtrack are genuinely pretty well done. I personally really love the idea of the game loop, though. Survivor's combat goes really hard, and the progression is very promising. But here's the con, right? There's every once in a while, you feel like you come across some unplayable netcode here. There's lots of reviews, but people are really citing severe server instability, constant rubber banding, input lag. I am definitely seeing a lot of input lag when I played, and desync ruins the combat experience even on high-end rigs. Also, pretty much a broken system, infinite loading screens, failing tutorials, memory leaks, and frequent crashes. They make progression pretty frustrating. Also, they have a pretty unstructured code base. The founder openly admitted to vibe coding without proper structure. After 6 years, the game remains a technical mess with a broken random economy. So, just remember, guys, the game is definitely in early access, so you can kind of forgive these initial issues if you want to, but this has the classic warning signs of definitely slow pull, another slow rug pull, right? The developers have a clear pattern. They raise the money, they wipe the player progress, they go silent, they rebrand, and then they hunt for a new audience. And reviews and feedback from previous employees saying it was a nightmare working for them, claiming that they didn't know how to make a game at all. But this is just all my speculation, and you can see for yourself if you want to try to support the game out. As of recording, there's around 500 to 1,200 people online average right now on Steam. For a game launch, it's acceptable, but for an ongoing MMO-ish game, it doesn't really bode well. So hopefully the people invested in the game can get their money worth before support, unfortunately, inevitably stops. But this is an interesting one to look at. It was really fun to research this. And yeah, I had high hopes for this. Looking at like not knowing any of the controversy going into it, I was like, damn, this game looks pretty cool. I really like the aesthetic. The gameplay is pretty cool. And when I actually went in, barring the issues of, a little jankiness here and there, the overall foundation of what is potentially there, I like that. Having to have an open world area where you can just talk, hang out, buy, sell items, craft, auction house, do some sort of not really mini games, but tend to farms and upgrade all your stuff. It was cool. And then you just jump into a dungeon where you can go ahead and play with other players, where they actually where it scales with the enemies, survivors combat, where you choose your abilities and your skills going in, and obviously all of your equipment, you can upgrade HP stats, your dexterity stats, your focus stats, and that increases like more AoE, more cooldown. I'm like a stat buff. I really like all that stuff. So being able to really customize your character and go through all these fun challenges fighting enemies, it's really good idea. It's a really good idea. But once again, I think the most unfortunate things here is going to be that who knows if this game's going to get development for as long as they say they are, and who knows if they're going to slow rug pull people again. Once again, I have no monetary value in this. I have not purchased anything at all, not even the game. They gave me the key for me to try out. So this is my honest opinion on everything. I like what they're doing here, but at the same time, I don't know if I can invest my time into this. There's a lot of other games to go out and play. But the idea is pretty freaking cool. And I guess this is going to be one of those games where I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to be actively playing it, but I am interested in seeing exactly where this goes because it's a cool idea, to be honest. But yeah, so I might revisit this in a couple of months and we'll have an update video. So watch out for that. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys trying out Soulbound? Were you some of the people who, put some monetary investment in their first project and now maybe you're jumping onto this one? Do you trust them or not? Maybe you're like me where you just found the game randomly and you're like, oh, this looks cool, but then you slowly found out this little rabbit hole of things. I'll be putting a link in the comments below once again to more research and Reddit posts for people actually doing a lot more like recording and the history and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hmm, Weird game, Soulbound online. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.